Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night, and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. Shout out to a couple of people who's in the room already, because I always forget to do that at the beginning. I want to make sure I knock that out first. Rum Dog's in the house. We got Kid in the house. We got OK Larry in the house. Kid made a great comment, said called it Tuesday, Tinted Tuesday, which is great because we're starting with tinted paper tonight. So what are we working on? Great question. I love it. So I've been doing like a lot of things this year, and most of them are centered around like wildlife pictures, probably done in coffee and stuff. And I realized I haven't really done any landscape pictures this year, and I don't think I've done any. And like even like a scene or something where it's not just like one subject. I haven't done many of those at all, and it's kind of sad because I really want to like become better at doing landscapes. Because if I counted like all the landscapes I've done, they're probably on these two hands. Like I haven't done that many, whether it's in watercolor or pastels or whatever. So I was at an art fair over the weekend, and there was this brilliant pastel artist. I forget her name, so I don't want to like say the wrong name. But she was knocking out these pastel pictures like they were nothing, and beautiful landscapes and all that stuff. So like inspired by that, I kind of wanted to try a landscape picture. And again, I feel like I do this at the beginning of every stream. I'm like, yeah, look, guys, I suck at this. It's gonna suck. You guys are gonna hate the picture when it's done. So let me throw out that disclaimer. It's gonna suck because I don't do a lot of landscape pictures. But we'll try. We'll give it a shot and see how it goes. So like I mentioned, I did start with tinted paper. And the reason why is because the way this works is when you're working with pastels, you kind of want happy trees. Kevin's in the house. We got Steve in the house. So when you're working with pastels, you kind of want like a sanded surface. So I don't know if you can hear this. It's kind of got like a rough surface to it. And there's the reason why is because what I did is I took watercolor paper and then I applied some watercolor to it. That's where you get this tint. And the tint is kind of arbitrary. Like I was kind of rushed, so I probably could have picked a better tint, but I just wanted to start with a tint so it wasn't just all white. But once you're done with that, once that dries, you apply this product. It's called clear gesso, and this clear gesso will create kind of like a sanded surface over it. It's got some sort of like pump, like I don't know, like some kind of sandy stuff in it. I don't think it's pumice. I think it's like grounded up marble dust. But anyway, it creates this toothy surface, and it's really great. I'm just going to add a little bit of color here real quick, just to show you why that matters. So it's like sandpaper. So you can see that like the color kind of like just sticks to it like sandpaper, and it's really good for picking up that pastel. And that pastel kind of goes into the grooves of the sanded surface, and you can apply multiple layers. It's great. I love kids comment. Oh, Geppetto has the crayon. Yeah, he wanted something to hold, so I'm like, all right, well you can hold this crayon if you want. And he's like, yay. So I'm just going to start adding color. I don't really, kind of have like a really good plan for this. I just kind of wanted to just jump in and kind of practice a little bit with different things. Again, I like using pastels, but they're usually for doing, pets or people or something like that. I don't do a lot of landscapes in them, which kind of sucks because they're perfect for landscapes. I see other people doing these magical pictures and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. Um, so here's me attempting to do that. So as far as the actual picture goes, let's see, Julian with the facts. Thanks, Huli. Gesso consists of a binder mixed with chalk, gypsum, pigment, or any combination of these. Yeah. So I don't know about the clear gesso, like what all's in that, but because there's a couple of different kinds of gesso, especially for like acrylics. Like this is for acrylics, but it's also clear. There we go. Anyway, I'm not doing like product placement or anything like that. I could care less about Liquitex unless they want to send me money, and then I'll plug them. But no, it's pretty good. It creates this nice little surface. So the plan here, the little bit of a plan that I came up with, is that I'm going to have like a really, really pretty sky up here. Hopefully, like with sunset colors in it. When I'm all like I've got some oranges and stuff over here, and then it's going to come down into like a green kind of like a farmland, like what we see out here in Kentucky. Here in Kentucky, most of the farmland is horse farms, right? So they're all like green, and they've got these like little fences, rail fences, and stuff on them. They're all really nice. So there's always an ugly phase with pastels, by the way. So like I'm gonna start with this background color, just kind of really blending that in, so that subsequent layers kind of go over it. But I want the background here to be really soft, and I think I'll probably have a bunch of different colors in it. So the reason why you do this, oh yeah, sorry, thanks, Huli, I appreciate it. I'm happy to be live. Yeah, sorry I missed last Friday. There was a technical issue on one of the websites that I manage, and I had to resolve that because the client was like, "Why is my website down?" I was like, "I don't know. It wasn't my fault." But I had to get that sorted out. So that kind of screwed up my last Thursday. And then I was going to do a stream over the weekend, but I kind of got most of you guys would appreciate this. A lot of you guys are in the treasure hunting world. So I got wrapped up in a treasure hunt crypto wallet, and that kind of like obsessed me over the weekend. I'm still obsessed with it, but I haven't really made any progress on it. So I might have to put it to the side. Oh, man. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this again. How did I fix this last time? I don't remember how I did this. Properties. Let's see. Nope, that didn't do it. Let me see if I can. Oh, I don't remember how I fixed this last time. I hate when this happens. Let's see if I can go back to this. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think. Nope, still bad. I hate when this happens. Like, sucks. Oh, maybe I deactivate it and then activate it. Nope, that's not it. Custom. I was able to fix this last time. This is incredibly frustrating. I've got to figure this out. Let me turn this off and try to add it again. We'll get this working. Yeah, so like, ah, man. It's so frustrating too. Because like I really want to be working on my picture, not this. Let's see if I can get that going. There we go. All right. Well, now my face is gone. That's okay. We don't need my face, right? Fix that too. You guys can still hear me though, right? Let's see. Turn that back on. I think I can figure this one out. There we go. All right, now we're back in business. Okay, all right, now I remember how to fix it, so I'll fix it next time it happens. Sorry about that, man. This is so frustrating. It also sucks because when I go to do the time lapse and stuff, I have to bleep all that stuff out, or like edit it out or whatever. Anyway, back to the picture. So I'm starting with like kind of this these blue colors, and I'm actually adding some white over it to kind of like soften it up and kind of create like a cloudy atmosphere. Probably it'll take several layers before it ends up looking really good, but that's kind of the process. So again, I'm not sure exactly where I want the horizon to be, but I kind of want it to be about midway. So I think I'm just going to draw a line, and I'm not too set on this. I may change it later. Would help if it was kind of like all the way across. So I'm going to add some trees and stuff to this too, but we kind of get some ground in here. Again, there's ugly phases in this art. Obviously, if the camera goes bad, it's all ugly. But this isn't going to look great at first, but hopefully it will as we go along. Right now, it looks pretty rough, but whatever. No one said art was beautiful, right? Yeah, so like that pattern that it does, that's kind of cool though. Like I wish that was intentional. I really don't know what the issue is. It's something with my USB port. I don't know. I'm more of a software guy, not like a hardware guy. So like I don't whenever hardware breaks, I just go off and get new hardware. And I got a new camera, so I thought maybe that would fix the issue, but apparently not. Anyway, this looks pretty rough. It looks like a child drew it, but that's okay because, you know, children can be artists too. I can be a child. Um, all right, so I kind of want this to be sunsetty, not all like blue. So I'm going to start getting some oranges in here and some of those kind of like sunsetty colors. Get some darker blues in here, almost like purples. And again, this is all going to look pretty rough at first, but hopefully it'll come together over time. Oh, Tom's in the house. Man, we got everybody in the house. We got Tom in the house. We got, just Tom. That's all. Who's new? But I do like working with pastels. It is a lot of fun to create, especially like when creating clouds and stuff like that. You'll see as this starts coming together and things start get blended together and more layers get in here, it starts looking really cool. I have done a few cloudy kind of scenes, and I don't know, they kind of all work out pretty well. So this is me putting in some like dark clouds up here and stuff. Don't worry, these are going to look better. There's always an ugly phase. I feel like I always have to say that, but it is true. Just figuring out where all these different marks are going to be. I'm more focused on the sky right now than I am on the bottom stuff, even though I should probably put in some stuff in here just so that it doesn't look completely janky. Janky is a technical term, I think. Does DB Cooper jump from the plane in this one? No, Ben. No DB Cooper. I'm sad to tell you this, Ben, but no one has cared about DB Cooper since the 1980s except for you guys. There is no DB Cooper in this picture. You're finished here, Jeremy Rothko. This is kind of like a Rothko picture right now. You know, like the abstract pictures that Mark Rothko does, they're just like these planes of color. So I want to kind of get some basically some background of some trees in here. Let me move some things around on the screen. So I'm kind of like maybe tomorrow or something like that. I will show the reference picture I'm using. It's actually a photo I took of the Kentucky Horse Park, like spring a couple of years ago. And the thing is, I want it also to be a sunset, so I'm kind of like doing a merge of two different pictures where the sky is like sunset and like the foreground and stuff is like the horse park. So it's going to look a little weird until they come together. Anyway, things are going to look pretty abstract too at first. So, but the reason why you add that gesso is so that you have a surface that handles all these different layers that you're adding. You know, because it does take a couple of different layers to get it looking right, so that it's not all. It's kind of like, I don't know, pretty rough right now. Willie likes it. Yay. Ben says fiddlesticks. It's okay, Ben. I don't know. That's not really true. I think DB Cooper is still like a central place in like pop culture. Like, you know, he was even mentioned on like Breaking Bad. Like everybody knows of DB Cooper, even if you're not like really into the story of DB Cooper. Nobody's obsessed about it like you guys are. What do you guys call Cooperites? Something like that? People who are obsessed with DB Cooper. But it is a pretty interesting mystery. Like I like watching whenever they come out with the documentary on DB Cooper, I'll watch that. It's always good. Oh, Vertigo's in the house. Yay. Haven't seen him in a while. So again, it's just making a bunch of marks. I know that it still looks kind of rough, but we'll smooth some of this stuff out here in a minute. In fact, I'll go ahead and start with that. So down here, I just kind of want to blend some of this stuff in. I want all this to be kind of soft because like layers above it are going to be like more defined, I guess. It does kind of look like a Rothko. I like that. Ben says, I think we're just called nuts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mama Q, I'm doing a landscape. Exactly. So I don't do landscapes. And like I was saying, I was at an art show over the weekend, and there was this pastel artist there. I forget her name. I had it written down somewhere. If I recall, I'll put it in the comments. Or if you guys are interested, I'll put a link to it in the comments. But anyway, she was really good. Like she did these pet portraits and stuff. I'm not ashamed to say that I have found a new person to follow. Like I'm going to copy every single thing she does because she's at the level that I want to be at as far as like her pictures go. So anyway, she's done a bunch of like landscape pictures and stuff, and I'm like, man, I haven't done a landscape picture in forever. I kind of really just want to jump in there and try one. Probably put a doggo in there. Now that you mention that, this is kind of going to be a farm, and if I have time, I was going to put a horse in. I was going to put a horse in the field up front. Anyway, all right. So I feel like that's enough of a ground to where I can ignore that for a minute. I don't have. Oh, here we go. Something to clean my hands so that it doesn't infect other areas. All right. So back up to this picture. Up here, so the clouds. So I kind of want it to kind of be like a sunsetting, but also coming up into the like blue skies. And the reason why it started with a yellow like base painting, underpainting, yeah, I think that's the term for it, is I don't know if like yellow is the right color, but in my mind it was like there'd be yellow peeking through this blue and kind of like you know, kind of affecting the blue a little bit. And I'm happy to say that's what it kind of looks like. Looks like, yeah, he's getting ready. He's getting ready, Mama Q. Hey, we got G in the house. Neat. Got Billy in the house. Nice. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys showing up. All right, so here I don't want to blend it too much. I want the clouds to be kind of, or the sky to be soft, but I still want some texture to these clouds. So they'll probably be in like highlights I put over it and stuff. You know, there's a bunch of different styles you can do with pastel. I like the impressionistic kind of stuff where where it almost looks like a painting. It's got a painterly look to it. I'm not saying I'm able to create that, but that's the style I like. I like it when other people are able to create that. I know, still in the ugly phase. Get there, guys. You guys never have faith in me. You guys are always like, oh man, this looks like garbage. Jeremy's not going to be able to like pull it off. Aha. Prove you guys wrong. Well, not every time. Most of the time I don't. There are times when my pictures end up looking horrible. And you guys can probably guess which ones they are because I don't really like, I don't know, I don't make like shorts out of them. I don't promote them. Those are ones I'm unhappy with. In fact, if I ever get in the YouTube paid partner program and I'm not so concerned about watch hours, you're going to see a mass deletion of videos. Are you cleaning your, yeah, I've got this dirty old rag here. I'm wiping my fingers off so that I don't like muddy the colors. But no, not really. I mean, it's still kind of all over my hands. I like to get my hands dirty when I'm doing these pictures. All right, so I know it's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. All right. So I also want some pinks up in the sky. Also having like a lot of color in the sky, loosely kind of inspired by that, you know, that Aurora Borealis thing that we had the other day, which was cool. I didn't get to see it, but a lot of my friends did. We had overcast skies here the night that was going on. So I didn't get to see it, but a lot of my friends posted pictures of it and stuff. And like, I feel like I don't know. The day I actually see the Northern Lights is probably the day I'm gonna die because like I have been trying to see those all my life and I've been missing out. Um, like there was another time when the Aurora Borealis came as far down as well, it was supposed to come down as far as Ohio. So I live in Kentucky. Ohio's like just north of me, and I went out looking for that, and I spent the entire night out, like until like 5 in the morning, chasing that thing, trying to find it, and it just never happened. So this time I was like, well, it's probably not going to happen. So um, I didn't go traveling for it like I did for like the eclipse. And I kind of wish I had because it lit up everywhere around here. Just not where I was because it was overcast. Pictures always start off with, hey, maybe I could do that. Then 3 strokes later, it's like, that's impossible. That's how I feel like most of the time, Billy. So you're not alone there. Hey, Tyler's in the house. Cool. Um, So as you can see, it's like layering a bunch of different colors, and I like how this works with pastels. Pastels are excellent for creating skies, um, and they probably are for the rest of this landscape too. It's just I've been successful in creating skies out of them. I've not been as successful creating landscapes. Right now, it doesn't look like a landscape. It just kind of it looks like a very abstract Mark Rothko. Well, actually, it looks a little more defined than Mark Rothko. For those who don't know, Mark Rothko, in fact, one of my favorite paintings is at the Cincinnati Art Museum. It's Mark Rothko. And it's not like I like his painting so much. It's just that I've seen that painting ever since I was a teenager. Like I used to skip school and go to the art museum in Cincinnati. Um, and there's a Mark Rothko that's always been on display there like my entire life. So I've kind of like grown to call that my one of my favorite paintings just because it's like an old friend, you know. It's always there. Um, you know, doesn't matter how old I get, it'll probably always be there. So I like that kind of continuity or tradition, I guess. So you can see it's starting to come together. You're starting to see some like cool colors popping up here. Who had a rainbow salt. There was somebody else who had a rainbow salt in my area. So like in my area in Cimarron Canyon in New Mexico, somebody had a rainbow salt. I think it was what was her name? Nika, something like that. And I don't know why, because like I didn't see any rainbow stuff in my area, but somebody else did. All right, so I'm gonna come back to that sky, but I feel like there's enough of the sky done to where I feel comfortable moving into the foreground. Oops. Oh, sorry. That's what happens when you drink. You start flipping things. Anyway, so I'm gonna move down into here. So I got these pencils. I'm gonna try to separate the sky from the ground with some very very roughed in trees. So like if Bob Ross was doing this, he'd be like these happy little trees and just start splotching paint all over the place. But I'm not Bob Ross, so I have to take a little bit more care. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like etching in these trees. I probably need some darker to it as well, so I'm going to come back with a darker pencil. Yeah, bourbon, love bourbon. Yeah. Is Jeremy drinking paint water? Not this time, but I have in the past by accident. If you go back to one of my streams, I forget what month it was, and I'm not encouraging you to go back and see my embarrassment, but yes, I was doing a watercolor picture, um, and I mistook the watercolor glass for my drink, and I drank my paint water. Yeah, which isn't so bad if it's watercolor, because like that's not toxic or whatever. But if I was using like I don't know something toxic, that would be bad. So like you can kind of feel free on these trees. Like the great thing about doing trees is that they're you know like it's nature. They kind of grow all over the place and they come in all sorts of different shapes. Unless you're trying to do like a specific type of tree, and I'm not. I'm just trying to do Kentucky type trees. Um, you're not gonna go wrong just kind of scribbling in trees. And you know, again, unless you're trying to do a particular type of tree. But I'm just trying to do this like little round tree here. The important thing I'm trying to do when doing this tree is that I'm trying to kind of give you a sense of scale. Okay. So again, I put not a lot of thought into this composition, but I did put a little bit. So I want a big sky. I want a farm foreground. And then I kind of want these trees in here to kind of tell you basically, how big everything's supposed to be, if that makes sense. So again, this is I don't want to say it's the Kentucky Horse Park because those familiar with the Kentucky Horse Park is going to be like, oh, that's bullshit. That does not look like the Kentucky Horse Park. But that's the inspiration for it. So it's inspired by the Kentucky Horse Park, which all that means to you guys is that it's a big field where there's a bunch of horses because like that's what we're known for here in Lexington. Yeah, they're Kentucky trees. There you go. Willie Nelly says, OMG. I don't know what she's talking about, but yeah, Kentucky trees. Kentucky Fried Trees. So there's a nice clump of trees over here. I really feel like I should be using darker. I'm gonna see if that matters. Get some. I don't want to make it all black, but maybe if I mix the two, like the green. And as you can see, I'm being kind of like I'm not being careful with this because like I don't know, nature is not careful. It just throws trees all over the place. But oh my God, you drink paint water? Yeah, it's by accident. It's not like I woke up and like, man, I'm gonna try some paint water, see what that's all about. No, it's a complete accident. All right, so I'm gonna kind of blend some of this, even though I don't want to. I just kind of want to see what it looks like when I blend it. I don't want to overblend it. Well, that's not true. It's okay at this level. So there's like layers, right? Like, I feel like in the bottom layers, it's okay to smudge these out. Like whether you're doing an abstract picture like this, not abstract, but like an impressionistic picture like this, or like, I don't know, even pets and stuff, you can kind of smooth out the bottom layers. It's the top layers that you don't want to smooth too much, but I feel safe here. All right, that's okay. I'm not gonna say it's good. It's okay. I can live with that. So I think I want to work on some of this foreground here. So I want to introduce a lighter color to represent kind of like the grass, but it's not like tall grass. It's basically grass that's been chewed on and munched on by like you almost done it, but not yet. Give it time. Keep watching my show. The thing is, you have to drink while you're doing your art. If you drink while you're doing your art, at some point you are going to drink your watercolor paint water, whatever. You know what I'm saying. So I'm trying to get some lighter greens in here. Again, I'm not concerned about detail or anything at this stage. Just trying to basically get the farmness in here, because we got back here in the background like some trees and stuff kind of separating you from the sky. There was also, I think, I want to put in a ridge back here. I think, yeah, I think that's good. And I haven't decided if I want to smooth this out or not, so just bear with me. Again, some of this stuff is experimentation because I'm not that familiar with doing pastel landscapes and stuff. It's something that I've seen other people do, and I feel like, well, I can probably clutch together something. But as far as like quality pictures and stuff, I don't know. I'm still working on things like that. But this is why we sand our paper, by the way. So like you want the paper to pick up your pastel. And by pastel, it could be like pastel, it could be charcoal, it could be whatever. But I do think I'm going to blend out some of this, but not much. I want to leave some texture in there. It's just, I don't want it to look like I just kind of, did what I did, which is just marking it in there. But there's going to be, I think, another couple of layers above. Anyway, I'm liking how this is working out so far. All right, so let me go back to these trees because I do feel like I wanted another. So I wanted kind of a layer of vegetation through here, and then I kind of wanted another layer up here. I do like doing trees like this, where you're basically if I ever have an excuse to scribble, whether I'm doing a portrait or I'm doing like, this, or I'm doing some sort of like, I don't know, ink picture or something, like anytime I have a chance to scribble, like I don't want that to be my style. I want to be like more realistic than just scribbling and stuff like that, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun just to kind of scribble in, oh, there's a tree. Um, it, you know, like kids do this. Kids just scribble on a paper and stuff like that. So it kind of makes you a little bit nostalgic back to the old days. But yeah, get a nice little ridge of trees through here, a little clump back here. And then I kind of feel like maybe this is a bit much. Put like there you go, like a little ridge there. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, so over here, kind of a little bit, but not as bright. Just put a little bit of a highlight through there. And at some point, I need to get some fences in here. Larry, I'm hopped up on water. I'm kind of concerned. I've been drinking so much while doing these art shows, and I made that kind of like part of the thing that I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to draw without drinking. So like, what if I ever like have to go to a school or something like that to do it like a demonstration or something for kids? I'm like, can I bring a glass of bourbon with me? And they're probably going to say no. So I am a little bit concerned about that. But I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So here, I don't want it to all be green. So I'm just going to put in just like a little bit of just, I don't even know what this is. I don't know if these are like little twigs or like patches of places where like the grass didn't grow or something like that. I just want to kind of break up that green. Like it doesn't, you don't have to like worry about the rules, right? So like the rules are that the grass is green, but you can come in here and put in a little bit of yellows and stuff like that, whatever. Maybe there's some sort of vegetation. I mean, I don't know all the different plants out there and stuff. I mean, who's to say, right? There could be like yellow little flowers and stuff. Some for the horses to eat. But also, like a lot of people have been like, I don't know, wanting me to do what like landscapes and stuff like that. So this is kind of like for them as well, because like it has been a while. I think I'm gonna put like a little bit of a vignette down here, like not too crazy, but or vignette, or I don't know how it's pronounced. A little darkness, just because I kind of want your eye to move towards the center, or ish. And then I can put in like a little bit more detail up here in the front. So let's see, maybe I can. So like up here in the foreground, you can get a little bit more detailed. Like as it goes back and stuff, your eye's not going to really see detail. I don't know if you can see this color anyway over this. Anyway, it's not like you have to be perfect in any of this, especially like when you're trying to do a like a landscape in a short period of time. And I'm trying to do this landscape in a short period of time because I'm doing a live stream on YouTube where I don't want you guys to have to stay up all night watching me finish. But also, you could be doing what is the term, plein air or something like that. I don't know if that just goes with painting or if it also applies to pastels. But plein air painting, is when you're out there in the actual nature doing the picture and stuff. You don't want to be out there for 5 hours or something like that. So I think that's one of the benefits of doing pictures quickly like this. Um, you know, there's nothing stopping me from actually going out to the horse park and doing this. I don't have to be sitting here in my studio, which is a spare bedroom. I don't have to be in my bedroom doing this. I could be out there in the world doing this. I'm gonna put some little highlights on the trees. But most of the stuff I know about painting and stuff, that all comes from Bob Ross. He would start with dark and then build up layers and stuff and add some highlights above it. All right. This is looking good to where I feel comfortable moving on to other features. First off, swig of bourbon. Kentucky Sage. Just say it's apple juice. Honey Badger should do what he wants. You mean when I go to the school to do like a demonstration? I like that. That's a great suggestion. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of pink over here, but I don't want to go nuts. And then I think I'm going to switch to some pastel pencils just because I'm limited on the amount of like sticks I have. Like basically this is all the sticks I've got. I've got to pick up a set. I keep promising myself I will. I've got the money to do it. I've had people who are generous enough to give me donations towards art supplies. I just need to go out there and actually commit to it. The art supplies that I want to get are some pastels, probably some sort of paints, but I haven't decided. So the key to especially doing skies and doing clouds and stuff is that you really just kind of want to throw in a bunch of different colors, right? Because that's how nature actually is. Now, all the colors have to make sense. You can't just pick random colors. But the more colors you can put in there, I think the more interesting it becomes. Like, layer that shit up, you know? Like, honestly, the more layers you add to something, it's just going to look nice. That's the whole reason why we do that clear gesso in the beginning, so that we can add a bunch of for those who want to see Jeremy drink his paint water, painting a woman in the window. Yes, yes. It was part of my painting women in watercolor series. Thank you, kid, for reminding everybody of that. I will get my revenge someday, but yes, thank you for that show note. Yeah. No, I mean, it was actually so funny because, like, you're doing a live stream, you made a mistake. In real life, if you drank the paint water, it wouldn't really matter. You just like, oh, that's disgusting, and then move on. But when you're doing a live show and people saw you do it, you can't just brush that off. You have to, you have to acknowledge it. And yeah, so I drank the paint water. In my defense, I do drink a lot. So, you know, it is what it is. But you see, you just add all these different layers and it ends up looking, I don't know, it looks like clouds to me. I don't know about you guys, but and then so the colors I'm using are kind of like basically oranges and purples and some pinks. I don't know all the technical terms for them. But also I've got this gray here that I kind of come in and kind of go over the stuff to kind of blend it all together. And I think that that's a nice touch. Drinking the paint water. You know what? I ain't gonna lie, that paint water was good too. It was not bad. So I just realized that I kind of want, so when dealing with your clouds, you can use this as an opportunity to kind of direct the eye. So I kind of want these clouds to kind of come in at like a diagonal to kind of draw your eye towards this like lighted area over here. And I don't want to smooth this out too much. I actually like the texture up here. This is kind of cool. I am going to smooth it out a little bit on the edges. And then the other way that you can kind of blend um, is by using another color over it. So this still looks kind of rough. So if I come in here with this white, you guys maybe have done this with colored pencils where you use white to kind of burnish and blend things in. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So just coming over the rough areas with another color and stuff kind of like does some of that blending as well. And it also adds this extra little dimension up here where you have like yet another layer of highlights of clouds. Like I don't want to go nuts with clouds, but it is like a sunset, and you do want some of the clouds to kind of be reflecting off of each other. All right, what damage can I do? Let's add a little bit more yellow up here. Sorry, sometimes I go quiet, but I don't know if I want. I kind of get a little spot in here. I don't know. I wouldn't say that the sun is actually in here, but I want the sun to kind of be peeking through, and I want it to almost be glowing. So, in fact, to that effect, I'm actually. KY Realtor claims she sent me earnest money. Oh, that's right. Bill is moving to Kentucky, or not. It sounds like he's getting a refund on that, but sorry. Well, that's a shame, Bill. I was looking forward to hanging out with you at some point. So I don't want the sun to be in there, but I kind of want like a little bit of sun type activity. sun activity. There you go. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the sky. I kind of feel like I should be moving more towards the front. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're only like 40 minutes into this. That's cool. All right, so I may come back and tinker with that sky a little bit. Let me move back to working on the foreground. This is a good bourbon too. Need a lawyer to sue Remax. Well, good luck. I'm sorry that didn't work out for you. I know it sounded like you were looking forward to moving to Kentucky. I don't know. Like I like Kentucky. There's a lot to like about Kentucky, but also I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend Kentucky to others. There's definitely aspects of it that I like, and then there's aspects of it I don't like. And it really depends on what part of Kentucky you're in. There's some parts of Kentucky that are very nice. And then there's parts of Kentucky that I would not recommend to anybody. Like we have like a big meth problem apparently. I would not recommend that to people. And then we have like some issues with education and things like that. I would not recommend that to people. But beyond that, it's a great place to live. It's a great place to visit. The people kind of suck, but the everything else is nice. I'm just joking. Kentucky's nice. Yeah, Steve, you know what I'm saying. Kentucky is nice. Steve, do you ever come down to Central Kentucky? Because I feel like we have a lot to offer up here. I love going up to Cincinnati. I try to get up there as often as I can. I've got some relatives and stuff up there that I go to visit. But yeah, I just love Cincinnati. Cincinnati's great. In fact, out of the two, I would be more inclined to visit Cincinnati than I would to visit Louisville. But it really depends. I don't know. Depends on what Central has the good math. No, that's Eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky's got the good math. Not that I would know. No. I I cannot afford a drug habit. I think this looks good. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with this so far. All right, so this is the tough part. I feel like I don't have to do this precisely, but I do kind of want the rail fences because like through here, I think I can just get away with drawing like a single line if I'm I hold my hand steady. So there is kind of like a central line back here. All right, so that I want to be kind of the start of this rail fence, right? Because these are pretty big around here. So there's like two things around here. Like all of our farms are like horse farms, right? Um, and next week painting with meth rocks. Hey, if I paint with coffee, I could probably paint with meth. No, I'm just kidding. They're probably gonna ban me for talking about meth on here. Anyway, there will be no painting with meth rocks. Um, let's see if I can. I don't know how. I want to do like a rail fence because we have them all over the place around here. There's two kinds of rail fence, and there's like the story about like old money versus new money. So like if you have, I forget which one it is. If your fence is painted in white, you're either new money or old money, and if your fence is painted in black, you're the other. And I don't remember which is which. That kind of looks okay. I don't know. It's meant to be. It's meant to imply a rail. So how many? One, two, three, four. So I got to put 4 lines in here. This is ridiculous. This is where things start getting tedious. Isn't Kentucky the state with all the meth billboards? Yeah, probably. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not like that's part of my world. So I don't know what the I just hear that we have all these problems with that kind of stuff, especially out in eastern Kentucky. Um, you know, for the most part, like I think, the official stuff is it like there's not even officially legalized marijuana here for medicine purposes. So I don't know how much of a drug problem we have as far as like I really don't know. It's not something I follow, but we don't have legalized marijuana um, for medicinal purposes. There is kind of a little bit of legalized marijuana in the form of a executive order by the governor. But even that, I mean, that's not like a law in the books. That like get a new governor and that could go away. And then that's barely medical marijuana, and there's like only certain things that it qualify for it. There you go. That looks like a split rail fence. 2025 medical. Yeah, well, maybe we'll see. But as far as like the illegal drugs, yeah, we've got problems. Um, you know, the problem is, here's the thing: if you if you ever go to Eastern Kentucky or West Virginia or any of these type of rural areas and stuff, it's really boring. Um, and I think that's why people do drugs out there. It's like, there's nothing else to do. And give them like I don't know, like a theme park or something, and they'll probably stop doing drugs. I have no idea. Again, it's not part of my world, so I don't really know. I mean, to me, that looks like fences. All right, so now here's the other tedious part. I've got to put in um, like horizontal rails. Let's see, put one here. If I don't break my thing. So this is the problem. I got to reach across my picture somehow and put these rails in. Let's see. Try to get them equal distance apart. I appreciate you guys watching this stream, by the way, because you guys get to see some of the challenges I've got here. So like putting in these rails, I feel like I'm actually out there in the field building these fences. Let's see. I think this is about right. So I'm kind of guessing on the spacing here and stuff, but anyway, it's as Bob Ross would say, it's your own little world. You can put as many rails in it as you want. The whole point of this is to show depth and scale, right? So like, you know, I'm not perfect on composition. I'm just going off a picture that I had photographed before, and I really like it because it is about scale. So you have like this big field up here. You have like some stuff on the horizon beyond the fence. The undeveloped area. So this is the paddock where the horses would be. Back here, it's kind of like some rough area, and I can rough it up a little bit more. I'll do that here in a little bit. But and separating the two is this like fence. So it's all about building scale and like letting you know what the. I mean, I feel like I say this a lot on this show, but art is a lot about communication, and you as an artist, your job is to communicate, what is in the environment. So here I'm communicating that this fence is at a distance by, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So like your job is to communicate all these different things, and this is just a small part of it. The fun part of this is I've done one of these in the past, like a long time ago. Like you have to really go back into the archive to see this other picture I did of a horse farm, and I didn't have pastel pencils back then, so like doing the split rail on that one was tough. It is a lot easier with this pastel pencil. So if you are going to be a pastel artist, get yourself some pastel pencils. I know you don't really need it. Like theoretically, I can do this with like the sharp edge of a black um, stick. Yeah, see? I mean, I could do it that way, but it is so much easier when you have these pastel pencils. Now I'm doing it the hard way just to prove a point. But yeah, all right. So now we got some rails. Cool. So yeah, there's going to be a horse eventually. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight. Probably. Yeah, we're doing okay on time. Um, but I don't want to get to the horse yet. That's like kind of like the last thing. Um, right now, I kind of want to work on this horizon a little bit more, just because now that I have this fence line in there, I can kind of see some of the other features back here in the background. I do want some clumps of trees through here. And maybe over here. Again, it's all showing like depth and scale. You're gonna have some bushes over here. If anybody ever does visit Central Kentucky, I can definitely recommend the Kentucky Horse Park. Like, even if you only have a mild interest in horses, like it's basically a horse theme park. And you go out there. It basically looks like this. It's a working horse farm. They have museums there. They have all the major horse organizations there, like the United States Equestrian Federation, which is where I used to work. Um, they have the American Saddlebred Museum. They have the Hunter Jumper Association Museum. All these different things out there. But also like horses, literally, you can see these horses out there in the field at any time of the year. And it's really nice. Just a little marketing plug there for the horse park. I'm gonna send them a bill, but it's definitely worth the visit if you're into horses at all, which obviously I am. Do you guys hear that? I don't know if that comes through, but like as far as ASMR goes, like there's nothing better than the sound of pastels on sanded paper. Kevin says, I'll give anyone who comes a personal tour. Kevin, a lot of these guys are from the Forest Fen community. I don't know if you actually want to meet these guys. They're all crazy. I've met a few. I've met a few of these guys in person. Let's see, I met Copper Dan, I met Packer Jack. They both came out to Louisville. I met Rudy. Uh, there was another guy who showed up to Copper Dan's booth out at the art show that was going on in Louisville. They're actually good people. I'm making a joke, but yeah, Forest Fen people are crazy. That's all right though. That's okay. Everybody's got to be a little bit nuts. So I'm gonna add a little bit of highlight to this tree. Honestly, like the the eccentricities of the forest fan community, I think is great. Like there aren't more colorful people out there, you know, as far as like a community goes. The community is actually kind of, I mean, it's like, I don't know, there's like so many different types of people, but there's one thing in common. We're all nuts a little bit, you know? You got to be a little bit crazy to go looking for a treasure out in the Rocky Mountains. Willie Nelly says, I suspect Ben painted horses. I believe it. I so as far as Forrest Fenn's artistic capability, here's something that I don't think that most people tuned in on. So, like, you know, most people notice that, yeah, he did doodles and he did cartoons and stuff like that, but I don't think most people tuned in on the fact that he actually illustrated the Kachina dolls. I think it's Kachina. I don't know how you pronounce that. He actually illustrated the Kachina dolls for his book. Native American Indian dolls and the girls who played with them. I don't remember the name of the book, but all of those dolls in there, he drew those. Um, and he admitted to that, and not admitted to it like it was like some kind of conspiracy or something. But he said that in one of his interviews. It was a 2006 Cody interview. He mentioned that he had done all those illustrations, and then I went and looked in that book, and the only artistic credit in that book was this thing called I think he said drawing after Frederick Wilmington. Frederick Remington, and Frederick Remington was an Old West artist from like the 1800s. So obviously that guy didn't do the illustrations. Those were all done by Forrest Fenn. So when people talk about Forrest Fenn's artistic talent, I don't think they realize he actually had some artistic talent. Now I don't know if he was out there doing paintings and stuff like that, but I would love to see, you know, some of his artwork. That would be kind of cool. To me, I reject the idea that you can be that prominent in the artistic community of the of like the Southwest America, like basically the go-to guy for any kind of Southwest American art, and not be interested in trying to draw. And like all of the people he hung out with were artists. Like how can you do that? How can you hang out with those people and not want to give it a shot, you know? Anyway. Hey, MJ's in the house. Cool. MJ says, "What's that about crazy?" You guys know. You guys know we're all nuts. It's not a secret. I'm not breaking any new ground by saying that. So it's hard to see like with this camera resolution and stuff, but you know, just putting like these little tiny marks and stuff, just little details and stuff, they all add up, you know. All right. So the question is, do I have enough in here to where I feel comfortable working on a horse? All right, so this is going to be tough. In fact, I think I am going to kind of like work on the horse. All right, so I agree. I think it was Kid who said that this field needs a horse. I agree, and I have a horse in the reference picture. I was debating whether or not I was going to have time to put him in, but I am going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Um, let me work on this a little bit here. Sorry, this little bit bothering me. Anyway, all right. So I don't know how to approach this though. Like, I don't want to screw up my picture. My picture's looking pretty good. I guess maybe we kind of sketch him in, maybe. Like, how do you put in a horse after the fact? I don't know. And I want to make sure that he has the right uh, proportions. I don't want him too big for the field. So he's got his head down. He's munching on some grass, right? So I guess if I just sketch him in first, and he's got this head coming up here. All right, and then got the body. Got the butt. I don't know what these parts are called on a horse. The buttocks. Got some legs coming down. These are all about the same as the head. So obviously he's standing on the ground that he's munching off of, or she. I'm going to call this a she. Looks like a she. I don't know the difference. Put in a leg there, another leg kind of coming back. Got this other little leg coming up. Kind of coming off from there. This leg kind of goes into the buttocks, so have that kind of come back a little bit, and then forward. Sorry, I'm working this out in real time here. Rump. There we go. That rump. That is, the horse's butt is called a rump. All right. Bring this face up. I mean, this is kind of looking right. So what's cool about this, so I should probably explain this. So you guys don't feel this, but I feel the texture of the paper as I'm using these pencils on it. That's all that clear gesso. So if I hadn't applied that clear gesso, this bit here, coming back to it. Thanks, Billy. I appreciate that. This will be up for viewing later if you want to come back and check it out later. And the actual picture I'll put up on the community tab. So anyway, that clear gesso causes a sanded surface to where there's actually tooth that holds this pastel. I wouldn't be able to put this extra layer over all of that other pastel if I hadn't put, hey, because the can's in here, cool. I wouldn't be able to put this extra layer above all of this if I hadn't applied that clear gesso and given the tooth to the paper that I did. So this horse, and this is actually in the photo, by the way. This horse's tail is all like, just kind of like flying up like this. I'm going to have to share the reference photo on this. Now, this looks substantially different from the reference photo. I'm loosely using the reference photo here, but it is what it is, you know, anyway. So I'm just kind of like roughing in this horse. Sometimes you have to blow away the so one of the reasons people don't like pastels, different people like pastels, and some people don't. And I get it. Like if you don't like pastels, if you don't like working with pastels, I'm not going to judge you. It's got this feel to it that kind of turns people off in some cases. So like if you've ever not liked writing on the chalkboard in school, like if the teacher ever told you to come up and write something on the board and you're holding that chalky stuff in your hand and you just didn't like the feel of it, I'm not gonna beat you up over that because like that's a real thing. You know, some people just don't like that feel, and you know, I'm not gonna judge you. That said, if you don't mind that, it is actually a cool medium. I like painting with dry medium, you know, and this is basically that. It's painting. Some people, so I always call it drawing, like drawing with pastels. Sometimes I call it painting, but I really feel uncomfortable calling it painting with pastels. But most people do, and I do feel like, um, what's 13 minutes and 12 seconds? Um, I feel like, oh, sounds like somebody's car alarm went off. Um, some people, some people do refer to it as painting and stuff, and I guess rightly so. But to me, it always feels like drawing. So I feel like it's a little pretentious to call it painting, but that I'm not going to beat people up over that either. And I sometimes call it painting with pastels, but somebody needs to fix their car outside. It's not my car, is it? Which one of you guys is robbing my car right now while I'm drawing? Let's see. Willy Nilly says, I just worry that that painting will be smudged and the tint will get on the stuff that will make me mad, like my pillows or something like that. Yeah, so that's that's something I haven't solved actually. There's a reason why I don't do that many pastel pictures, um, for like people as commissions and just in general. I haven't figured out how to seal this yet. So like if I put this in a frame, like if I matted it and put it in a frame behind glass and stuff, it wouldn't really matter, you know. This is like pretty solidly in here. If you touch it and stuff, it'll smudge on you and stuff. But if it's behind glass, it'll stick to the thing. You can apply some fixant to it, and that'll also help. Although I have tried some fixant, and I haven't cracked the nut of how to like apply fixant without screwing up the picture yet. That's something I'm still working on. Um, but yeah, like I don't feel like that's enough of a reason not to use pastels though, because pastels are awesome. So like if I like I will probably never sell this or give it away or ship it or anything like that, but I might actually hang this up on like my own wall. And Yeah, all I need for that is maybe like a fixant spray and then put it behind glass and it'll be fine. All right. So now that I kind of have this horse sketched out, I do have like some really nice pastel here that I'm just gonna come in. These are Rembrandt pastels. These are my best pastels, but I only have like, so it's hard to see on camera, but I only have these colors and they're all like for portraits. These are like human face kind of colors and stuff. So I wish I had more of these for doing landscapes. I would probably do more landscapes. But now that I have this sketched out, I'm going to use this. What's great about these Rembrandts is they're really soft pastels, like super soft. So they go over these other pastels pretty well. So like my base colors and the stuff I already did in the landscape, the field, and all of that stuff, I have no problem going over those with these pastels. So that's what I love about these guys. I even though like they're not a paid sponsor, nobody's giving me a check or anything like that. Um, but Rembrandts are definitely solid. I can recommend Rembrandts. Rembrandt pastels. There's probably some other brands out there that are really nice as well. It's just, I don't have a set, so I can't really say. But I've had these Rembrandts forever. I bought them so that I could do portraits. And I don't know, I've just had them for years. And they're really nice. I like Rembrandt pastels. When it comes to the pencils that I really like are the Derwent pencils. They're like an English company. Just Dave recommended them, but they're awesome. So just getting some dark areas in here. And again, you don't really have to be perfect with this stuff. Like, pastels are meant to be kind of abstract. So it's not like you're going for super realism or anything. I'm just trying to get like the dark areas because again, he's backlit, right? So like your sky and suns and not suns as in plural, but like NJ says that's beautiful. I appreciate that. Thank you. Glad that because the can's in here now. Willie Nilly says I love the colors. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, these are cool colors that go well together. Coincidentally, they are the actual colors that I have. I don't have a huge set of pastel pencils or pastel sticks. I've got a really nice set of pastel pencils, and I could draw all of this in pastel pencils, but I really like using the sticks for the big areas, um, and then the pencils for like the details and stuff. And I want to end up with like a better set of the sticks, but I just haven't gotten to it. It's on my list. I just haven't done it. You know, Amazon is so hard to order things from. I've just been really busy. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I think I had a darker one here. Maybe this one. I wanted to go darker. Yeah, that's better. A little bit darker. So I'm going to actually layer this. Where did I put the other one? With this. So even though this top part's not going to be this dark, I just want to kind of give myself a base to layer with. I'm not happy with that neck yet. I'll work on that. This is so much better than the last time I tried to do a horse farm. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now there are some highlights on the back of this horse. So again, these Rembrandt the colors are dreamy. Nice, I appreciate that. Thanks, kid. Um, yeah, you guys, cool. I appreciate it. Love the feedback. Um, yeah, I honestly, I really do appreciate the feedbacks. Like when, like even when something sucks and stuff, I appreciate you guys letting me know that. But especially when things are going well. Um, yeah, so you can. So these Rembrandts, I can't emphasize how much I like these Rembrandts. They really are good at doing these layers. Because like they're so soft that you can just keep adding them. Like I am here, where I'm kind of just going over like there is a point where you won't be able to add more layers because the tooth will be filled up. But it's a while before you can get to that before you get to that point with these Rembrandts. These Rembrandts just kind of like fill in, just kind of they just layer really well. I don't know how else to say it. Maybe there is no other way to say it. Get this little horse in here. All right, so I do feel like this horse um, looks like, oh, I pet a horse today. Yay! I'm glad it didn't bite me. I am terrified of horses. I know it seems strange because I'm around horses all the time, but yeah, I give them a wide berth. I'm There's no reason to be as paranoid of horses as I am, but it's the same thing with like bees and stuff. I was talking about bees before, about how I'm petrified of bees for no reason. I feel the same way with horses. So I need to, hopefully don't fall out of my chair here. Grab a little blending stump. So I don't really want to overuse the blending stump, but I do kind of want to blend in some of these areas where these colors kind of. There you go. I think that's fine. All right. So now the deal is this guy kind of looks like he's floating, which is no good. Um, let me let me grab my pencil. I've got so many pencils on here. I don't know where everything is. There we go. Let me grab this guy. Yeah. All right. So I don't want to like draw a black line, but I kind of want blackish green. So I'm just going to kind of lightly go over the green that's already there and kind of create this like little shadow area where just so that he doesn't look like he's like disembodied floating. All right. And since I have this black, I'm going to kind of define my horse a little bit more. Again, the combination between the stick pencils and the two beautiful colts with a stripe down the back, middle of the back. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Um, so the the combination between the stick pastels and these pencils and stuff are just like it's just amazing. My art has increased 1,000-fold ever since I got these pencils to go along with my stick pastels. I love the stick pastels. Don't get me wrong. I feel like a real artist when I'm drawing with those stick pastels. Um, and it just feels cool to be doing that. But some of the detail and stuff, it helps to come back with this the pencil. So here I'm just kind of like defining some of the areas that I've already kind of mapped out. And now you notice that I'm kind of being a little bit cautious around this bottom part is because like this particular horse has like white stockings. So I'm going to come back and add that just because I think it looks cool. So this belly, I want to kind of smooth that out. Kind of, he's a little fatty, a little fat horse. Nah, he's all right, or she. Let's see, get some definition to this. I keep having to blow on it to get some of the chalk off so that or some of the powder off so that I can kind of see what actually is there and what isn't. Yeah, you got to be careful around horses. So, like, I have been petrified, or like, I don't know. I go around horses all the time, and I'm not as scared of them as like I imagine I am. But in my mind, I am very petrified of them, and I have been ever since somebody told me that they can kick sideways, right? So, like, I've always known that you shouldn't be standing back here behind a horse. But then somebody told me they can kick sideways, so you shouldn't be what standing next to a horse either. I mean, what's the deal there? That's messed up. Like, where are you actually supposed to stand next to a horse? Oh, by the way, there are some rules for working with horses. So, like, one of the rules is you are supposed to work with the horse from the left side. They call it the nigh side. Um, that's like just a time honored tradition, and the reason why is because knights would carry the swords on their right side. So, like, or wait, on their yeah. So knights would carry their swords on the left side. So if you were on the right side of a horse and you had your sword on your side, you couldn't mount them from the right side. So, like, I don't know, it's just tradition that you're supposed to work with a horse from the left side. That's where the that's the origins of the term nigh comes from. The nigh side. It actually comes from working with horses. I think this guy's looking kind of cute. What do you guys think? I'm glad I added the horse. How are we doing on time? Man, we're doing really good on time. So I do like the idea of like abstracting in the shapes and then coming back and adding detail and stuff with the pencil. So even though I again I don't do this often, I don't work on landscapes often. So like I'm kind of figuring out my methodology here as I go. But I do think that this is a good approach or technique, I guess, is what they would say. Kind of Aaron. Yeah, he's looking cool. Yeah, Jeremy just gave a hint. Yeah, honestly, that was part of my solve. Like the whole the end is ever drawing nigh. That was totally that refers to left. That's the reason why it refers. So you heard that, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, it means left. Yeah, that's the reason why it means left. It goes back to old knights days and stuff. Um, let's see. All right, let me go back to. I think this. Yeah, this guy's looking super cute. All right. I wanted to get in guy's socks. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like one day, now we know Jeremy's Bogart is a horse. uh, one day I will do a treasure hunt, and you guys will have to go back and watch all these videos and stuff for hints and clues. That's just the way it's going to be. So pay attention, guys. Someday. So, like, you don't even have to be super detailed on these. Like, just the little highlights here and stuff. It kind of gives the little dude, you know, it just looks cooler. All right. So let me go back to working on some of this field. All right. So I feel like this is pretty good as far as like composition. I don't know. I kind of suck at composition. I'm working off of a like an actual photo that I took. So it's hard for me to say, uh, you know, if I did well in composition, but I do like how this works where your eyes are kind of drawn to this like light area where the sun is setting, and but there's still visual interest in other areas. So that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, let's see. I kind of want to. Sorry, I want to get this horse looking perfect. Honestly, I think I will actually frame this. This is a pretty cool picture. Um, Turned out way better than I thought it would, and it's not even done yet. Oops. Get little highlights in here. White up here. All right. I think he's looking good. All right. What's next? Where's my light green? This guy. Gorgeous, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Not done yet. I think I need yellow. Where's the yellow at? All right, so because, again, I don't want this horse to look like he's just floating, right? So I want him to be part of the environment. So around the horse, I really need to put in some grasses for him to be eating, for him to be standing on. By around the horse, I basically mean on this entire layer or level. So like this front level and then back levels and so on. Beautiful and peaceful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do try to I don't like a lot of chaos in the pictures that I do. Like even when I do a chaotic picture like I don't know, like my messy charcoal pictures I guess would be a good example. I like to rein it in and create order out of the chaos. So like if I start with a chaotic picture, I'll try to rein it in and create some order. It is kind of cool to me. Like, I don't know. I'm fascinated by this as much as anybody else. And it's actually a picture I created that over time, I mean, you guys can go scroll back and see how messy it was in the beginning and how it didn't look like anything at all. And then, over time it starts to become a actual picture. I love like I'm fascinated by that process. Even though I'm part of that process, I'm literally creating that process. All right, so I think I'm actually going to diagonally, yeah, sorry. I'm just going to really lighten up this area here. And the reason why is because I kind of want, now that I'm thinking about it, even though I didn't plan it, I want it to kind of, yeah. So the movement of your eye, in my mind, is just this, I kind of want your eye to start down here. All right, and the way this works, if you're doing like, yeah, the dust is flying. And I have to be careful because like whenever I blow in a picture, like I chew gum a lot and I might spit on the picture. That's no good. So, by the way, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to create a flow to your eyes, right? So like I don't know, like I'm not very good at this. I never went to art school, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But in my mind, your eyes are going to start down here and they're going to flow up to there. And I do that by increasing the lightness down here and then working in the shadows across. So that's the composition I'm going for in retrospect. I didn't start off that way, but I think that works. For those of you who are new to this channel, like not, like most of you guys are like been here for a while, but for those of you who are new, I am a self-taught artist, so a lot of it's experimentation and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't and stuff for me. So when I talk about like, I think I can work this out where that's literally me trying to figure that out as I'm working on it, like I feel like I'm leading somebody's eyes in that direction, but I don't really know, because I'm a self-taught artist. I don't really know. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, in order to create that effect where you're leading somebody's eye, my understanding is that I would create more darkness over here, right? So like over in this corner, and then, just generally over in this corner. Yeah, I think that looks cool. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm going to turn my attention. There's probably some more that I might do down here looking at the time, I think I'm going to turn my attention back to the sky. Just don't blow your dentures out. I don't have dentures yet. Give me some time. I'll probably end up with some. No, I don't have dentures yet. I appreciate that. Yeah, that would be funny, especially on like a live stream to like be blowing on your pastel picture and then like dentures just fall out on the paper. I mean, we're all human beings and stuff like that. That happens, so what? I don't care. People put too much emphasis on social um, niceties and stuff. All right. So anyway, I gotta move back up here to the sky. The thing is, I want this to kind of be more. Get this guy over here. Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like you're not really sure what you're doing, so you're kind of like making it up as you go. A little bit of a dark cloud. Yeah, that's cool. The other thing is I'm looking at this reference picture and I'm like, I have to remind myself, like, all right, so that's reality, the reference picture, but also I want it to be artistically cool as well. So I have to kind of juggle it, right? So like I don't want it to be too. I mean, I still want it to look cool and cohesive as a like an actual picture. If that makes sense. Again, I only want to blend it a little bit because the deal is that if you overblend it, you lose some of that texture, which is kind of cool. Like that kind of texture. It's not. I don't know. I think that some of that stuff it makes it look like a painting. Willie Nilly says this is the first stream I ever saw that. Oh, the first stream I ever saw was when you did another horse. This one is superior. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes I like to do like redemption streams where I'm not happy with something I did prior, and I try to like make it look better. I have done in the past a picture of horses in a horse farm, and I do think that this is better than that one. So call this a redemption round for that particular picture. I do like working with pastels though. Like it's just such a fun medium, especially if you don't mind doing like impressionistic type work, which I feel like this would probably qualify, where it's realistic but also not super fine detail or anything like that. I'm just putting in some dark clouds because it is kind of like a sunset. So you do have like some darker clouds, but they're not totally dark. So to blend them, I come back with this lighter gray, you know. Anyway, I love pastels. I really do. Like, probably as far as my favorite mediums go, obviously coffee. Coffee is my favorite medium. I don't know. I just enjoy doing coffee. I wouldn't say it's my favorite medium, but it is up there. But watercolor I enjoy doing, but I'm just not as good at it as I am some of these other mediums. And then I do really enjoy the pastels. Uh, I enjoy doing portraits in pastels and enjoy obviously doing landscapes and pastels. I feel like I should do more landscapes. What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Do you think that I should do more landscapes? I've been kind of afraid of them. But if you guys think I should do more landscapes, I'm gonna do more landscapes. I'll leave it up to you guys. Um, but yeah, I feel like pastels is a really great medium for doing landscapes. Probably watercolor too. It's just I'm not as good at watercolors, or I feel like I'm not. I don't know. So I am limited on the type of sticks I have, so I have to go back and use pencil for some of these things. But I do feel like this should be more kind of this light purple. And it kind of sucks to use the pencil like this, but it is what it is. I feel like I can do this a lot faster with the stick. Willy Nilly says, I freaking love this paint. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love it when you guys respond to something I do. Well, like if you guys hated the picture, that's fine too, but like I'm not gonna enjoy it as much, that you guys hate it. I really do like doing clouds in pastels. Just because like pastels are perfect for clouds. Like there's some things that pastels are really good for and probably not good for. Clouds is definitely something that pastels are good for. Because like they're super soft. You get like the vibrant colors out of it, but also you can blend them like super easy. But then it's not, you don't want to completely blend these things. Like you want some of this texture here. Like, I don't know, it's hard to see on camera, but there is some texture in here that makes it look, you know, I don't know. It's not all about like blending it in and making it soft. Sometimes it is, but it's not always. I think I want this yellow to kind of come across here. You can see I'm not even looking at my reference picture anymore. It's more like, how can I just make this cohesive? That's cool. Oh, Larry's taking off. All right, have a good one, man. I appreciate you hanging out with me. NJ says, Jeremy, you're great at any style. I appreciate that. Like, there are some styles that I'm better at than others, but I appreciate the comment. There are some things that I feel like I can get better at. I don't know. It's tough. Like most artists, they pick something and they stick with it. Like there are some artists out there that are just into pastels, and there are some artists out there that are just into watercolors and stuff like that. Um, I don't know how to pick a lane. I'm I'm all over the place. I literally will paint with coffee one day, and then I'll come back and create something in pastel the next day. So I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but I do enjoy it, and it's like I enjoy like branching out and trying different things. So even though this is dark over here, just to let you know what I'm doing, I like to add like little punches of color, right? To kind of create that dimension. So in dark areas, it's a good idea to add like little dots of color if you can. Like if you were doing this as like a field of flowers or something like that, in your dark areas, you would probably want to punch up it with like some lighter areas. And I'm only using yellow because I don't really have a like a yellow green that would work. Lorraine says, this is one of my favorites. More landscapes would be good. All right, cool. I will try my best. Again, um, you know, I'm not, I don't feel as comfortable with landscapes, but I will try. I will try to make some for you guys. Kid says, I'm guessing a coffee landscape would be difficult. You'd be surprised. I really do want to like kind of branch out and do. So I've been doing the coffee paintings. It's kind of like a series of wildlife, and it's not like I've gotten bored of it or I want to do something different per se. I still want to do that, but also it's like I do kind of want to try to do different things with the coffee as well. Like um, try to do a portrait in one, try to do a landscape in one, try to do I don't know. I feel like it's pretty diverse. You can use it for a lot of different things. So yeah, I am not opposed to trying other things. I'm adding like little touch ups of like shadow areas and highlight areas and so on. Pretty happy with this guy. Now, in the original, there's actually like a little shed over here, but I'm not going to add that because I don't like it. You don't have to do everything that you see in the reference picture. For those of you guys who are artists, and like I'm talking to you, Willie, and some of you others, give pastels a try. Aspect that's totally cool. But give it a shot if you don't know if you would like them. Um, Kevin says, I think a coffee mountainscape would be cool. Yeah, basically anything that would look cool in like a monotone sepia kind of color or like browns and stuff, like a mountain. I think that would look really cool. Um, you can sell your coffee art to coffee shops. My goal is still to put the coffee art that I have done that hasn't already found a home into that coffee shop that I mentioned before. That hasn't happened yet, just because I only have like 10 of them done. I want to get more of them and I want to get them framed. But yeah, that's supposed to happen. That's a goal is that I would put those in coffee shops and one coffee shop in particular. They already said I could. So it's just a matter of getting them done, getting them framed, all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. It's on the list. I'm so busy, guys. I'm super busy with all my various projects. I'm I'm just I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all the different things that I take on and stuff, but I don't know. I can't imagine doing anything other than what I do. Getting a little bit of color there on the horizon. And I think there would be. Oh, did any of you guys see the Northern Lights the other day? I would love to see them. I feel like most areas of the country had at least the opportunity. Like they went pretty far down south. Um, Even around here, people saw them. It's just for me, I don't know. It's kind of overcast. Longest outage was about 10 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, must be a solar flare hitting us now. It's interrupting Starlink. Yeah, I do apologize for that technical issue earlier in the stream, but at least I recovered, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, Steve. Steve, you kind of live nearby, so yeah, I felt like you got hit with the same stuff that I did. It was a bit cloudy in this area. Bill, did you see the lights? I don't. Where are you living at now, Bill? Like, I know that you were trying to move to Kentucky, but if you didn't make it here, I'm not sure where you are. It is kind of cool. Like for those of you who don't have a YouTube show, one of the fun aspects of it is that people from all over the world tune in. It's kind of cool, just to see the different variety of people and stuff, different cultures. I love it. Like different areas of the United States, it's kind of interesting, but when you start getting different cultures from like around the world and stuff, that's like amazing to me. I like this little guy. I think he's looking cute. I will put this up when it's all said and done on the community tab so that you guys can see some of the finer detail. Like here in person and stuff, I one of the things I like doing when I go to like an art gallery, is I like looking at like the little subtle details and stuff, the little individual marks and stuff. I get so fascinated by those. I've mentioned the oh, Vertigo's taking off. Hey, have a good one, Vertigo. Hey, I know what time zone you're in then. I've always been messing with Vertigo, trying to figure out where he lives. So he must be an East Coast kind of guy. Yeah, we're about wrapped up anyway. Yeah, we've only got like a little bit of time left, so you guys aren't missing anything. I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, like I realize that like you guys have other things that you guys could be doing. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. It is kind of late, so yeah, the tail is on point. So thanks, Kevin. The tail is actually how it looks in the reference photo. I need to post the reference photo as well. Like I took this one day at the horse park, and it just looks so cool. But that's how the horse's tail actually is on the day that I took the photo. Like I don't know if he was swatting a fly or whatever, but yeah, he had his tail up like that. Anyway, I do think that I'm probably going to wrap this up. Um, at the end of these things, I always like to look for like little moments of opportunity. So you do have a field here. Who's to say what's in it? Who knows what kind of flowers are in it? Who knows what's reflecting off or whatever. So what I like to do is I like to take colors from the top area, and by that I mean this like pink, for example. And I like to come down here in the foreground, and I like to just bring some of that into it. I know that it's kind of silly, and it doesn't make any sense in reality, but who's to say that what's actually out there in the field? So by bringing some of those colors down into it, it kind of creates this more cohesive picture. That's, again, I'm a self-taught artist. It's just something I saw that kind of like works. Maybe somebody mentioned it to me at some point, but I like it because like, there's probably not pink flowers down here, but the pink kind of works with everything anyway. And it just creates this more cohesive picture. And then same deal with the orange. So like an orange pastel pencil. So like bring that down into the foreground. Again, who's to say if there's like orange flowers down here or like orange bugs, whatever, just kind of work that in. Kind of creates some visual interest and makes it all cohesive. Huli says, absolutely gorgeous. Excellent work. Steve Klein says, thanks for the show, Jeremy. MJ says, Jeremy, thanks. Yeah. I do think that this is pretty much done. So if you guys want to hop off, that's cool. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. And again, I'm so sorry that I had to miss Friday. Or not Friday, Thursdays. And I apologize for the earlier issues with the weirdness. I'm actually going to sign this because it looks so cool. Put my little J. Parnell in here. Cool. All right. So yeah, I think we're about done with this. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. It's always nice for me to get outside my comfort zone. Again, I don't do a lot of landscapes. I don't do a lot of color pictures to begin with. Tom says, Jeremy, your explanation about creating order from chaos made me realize that one of the reasons I watch this stream, I do think that the world is pretty chaotic, and anytime that we can take a step back and kind of find some order in it and find some peace in it, these are all good things. So yeah, I do appreciate that comment, Tom. Thanks. But yeah, so like I don't do a lot of landscapes. I don't do a lot of color, so this is definitely outside my comfort zone. But I think this looks good, and I'm gonna try to develop some of these skills going forward. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys like this picture. Let me go back to this. There you go. But yeah, it is kind of late, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll let you guys go. Dogs are getting kind of nuts back here. Dog's doing something on the ground there. I don't know, scratching his back or whatever. Freaking weirdo. Anyway, you guys have a good time. I will see you guys on Thursday. I will not miss it this time. I will be there, you know, barring any kind of other technical difficulties. But anyway, maybe we'll do another picture like this, another colorful picture. I really enjoyed this one. It was good. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks.